So, how about that end event, huh? The event that I've been hyping up from the start, how did it turn out? Well, I guess you're about to find out, aren't you? I remember waking up today being so excited. This event was going to be the best thing ever, and of course, I called up my boy Sneaky to prepare everything, since he's the only Northside member who's actually playing. I started recording surprisingly late here, at the old leaked base to get to the stronghold, which if you've seen my stronghold video, you would know that it's closest to the old base. And then finally, Freaky logged on. This dude had been so absent from Northside that even the other team started applauding him for logging on. That is ridiculous. Do you know how absent you have to be to get attention from the other teams? That is crazy. And of course, I had to explain the way back, because basically, if you don't know, Sneaky knew where our new base was, and he was currently there, and we had already left through the Nether. So, oh my god, this dude had to fucking make his way all the way back, and it was just a huge mess. So he was basically living on Discord. And I had to show him the way back, because of course I'm responsible for this whole team, bro. I feel like a father, and Sneaky and Freaky are my two kids, bro. That's what Northside is. I'm not even joking. And what's even crazier is that I'm not even a good father. All right, I am a trash Minecraft player, so like this shouldn't even be happening. But anywho, as soon as Freaky exited that portal, we had to make a fucking run for it. Seriously, looking for the stronghold was the most stressful thing I think I've ever done. Oh yeah, and Sneaky died right here, but he respawned near our bed we placed so he could quickly get his stuff back again. But it was not a good look. I mean, if you're gonna die before you even enter the stronghold, that's not a good thing. That's not a good look at all. We ended up entering the end a bit late since we had difficulties finding the portal. But if you thought the nightmare ends here, you're wrong. What happened next was a mess of people talking in my ears, communication problems, and a bunch of other chaos. So at this time, I'd actually prepared resources for a flying machine that we planned to use to reach the End Islands, which now that I think about it, was a really dumb idea. But Murdrum and the Big started talking to us when they saw us trying to build this thing, and of course these two were in full netherite, of course they are. So when Murdrum started to bully me and break my machine, there wasn't much I could do. And worse, I didn't even realize I was fucking muted this entire time. So they couldn't even hear me talking. Like, they were asking questions, alright, wondering why we were building a flying machine instead of being normal and taking the one block portal to the End Islands. And I was responding to their questions, but I was muted, so they literally could not hear me that whole time. Oh my goodness, yeah, it was just a never-ending mess. Oh yeah, and also when I checked my inventory, I realized that I had somehow forgotten to bring the observers with me, which was fucking essential for making the machine work. So the dumbasses we were, me and Sneaky attempted to bridge across, not realizing how many blocks we actually needed for that. So while me and Sneaky were building our depressing bridge, from out of nowhere, two players from Miami named Crying Boo and Space pulled up onto our bridge and started shooting fire arrows at us, even though PvP wasn't allowed. Once again proving how unorganized this whole event was. Like, they didn't even seem to know that you weren't supposed to use actual violence and kill people during the event, and that's after the event that you're supposed to do this. But yeah, I mean, Sneaky ended up getting shot down. And like, this is so bad, bro. I was basically yelling at them to stop and just asking them like if PvP was turned on or not. But once again, I was muted, and I kind of realized right here that I was muted, and I unmuted, and I was like, it was so messy, bro. But I think they were also kind of confused, so eventually they just kind of took their leave. But I mean, the consequences were absolutely devastating. I mean, Sneaky had died in the void, lost everything, his whole diamond gear, everything else that he had brought, and I don't know where Freaky was. I mean, I lost him very early on, and he didn't even have the voice mod installed, so he couldn't even communicate with the other members, And he was in a Discord call with us, and everything was just so chaotic, bro. Like, I was getting a headache from this, and I was also enraged, might I add. Like, my blood was boiling, bro. It was boiling. I was so upset, bro. Because not only was I in diamond armor while everyone else was basically in full netherite, I also just didn't know what was happening. Like, I just did not know what was going on. And yeah, and then eventually my dumbass realized that, wow, look at that. I'm not gonna have enough blocks to bridge to the end islands, alright? Like, I'm so unexperienced with, like, getting to the end in vanilla Minecraft that I literally did not know that you needed stacks upon stacks with blocks at least to make it to be able to bridge to the end islands. I did not know that. It's very important to note that I was already feeling very sick right here. Like, I was already feeling so incredibly shitty. I wanted nothing more than to log off, since I knew that the sweats of the server were going to grab some elytras for their own and for their team, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to find a single one, and most likely Freaky wasn't going to either. So I was feeling completely empty walking through the end islands here. I didn't want to play. I just wanted to log off, but something inside me just told me to keep going, and and then this ended up happening. Snyggt. Vänta, Pearl. Nej, jag hann inte Pearla. Okay, goodbye guys. Goodbye.
Hoppade av den pullan.
This might have been one of the most preventable deaths in Minecraft history. Let me name a few things I could have done right here to prevent this death. 1. Log off right then and there, since I was obviously feeling like shit already. 2. Walk back to the portal and get back to the overworld. 3. Wind charge correctly. 4. Have more patience and gone back to mine more blocks to get across. 5. Pearl straight to the island. Or 6. Just pearl clutch earlier when I fell. So many things. Just overall one of the most preventable things I've ever seen in my whole life. But yeah, I lost everything, and I love being a living, breathing creature with boiling blood. Everything aside though, as of recording this voiceover, this death was actually a while ago, and I kind of got back on my feet, which is crazy, but yeah. Expect this process of me dying to repeat itself from now on, because it's pretty clear that I'm not a capable player, and I'm never going to be. Oh yeah, and if you were unaware, hostilities between teams start after the end event, so if you think you've seen me suffer enough, you would be wrong, alright? But yeah, stay tuned people. I love y'all for watching my vids, by the way, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.